The Urban Archaeology Corps was created as a collaboration between Groundwork RVA and the National Park Service. In this 8-week program, Richmond High School students excavated an archaeological site, conducted oral histories in a community called Gravel Hill, where a group of freed slaves lived in the 1780s and where the descendants still call home today. Students learned about research, archaeology basics, public outreach, and interviewing. Engaging with local history, students addressed unanswered questions about Gravel Hill posed by its community members. The program aims to use archaeology as a vehicle for young people to learn about urban national parks and their surrounding communities. Its goal is to educate and empower high school students from across the Richmond area.
I think the most interesting thing I learned about archaeology was the fact that there's more to it than just digging. There's research, there's going out, conducting interviews with the people involved with what you're focusing on.
One thing I learned about archaeology is that it is a very delicate process.
Archaeology is a lot of work and it's fun.
One thing I learned about archaeology is so much mystery you can find.
One thing I learned about archaeology is one, how to spell it, and two, that preserving history and telling your story is important.
There was a black community before the Civil War ever happened.
Learning about the Sykes brothers.
Seeing how different their self-sufficient community is from our technology-dependent society.
What I find interesting about Gravel Hill is that 78 slaves were freed and given 350 acres of land.
The most interesting thing I learned about Gravel Hill is the fact that it existed in the same period that slavery was still active. The most interesting thing about Gravel Hill is that the Sykes brothers still have family members that are alive.
Something interesting that I learned about Gravel Hill was the fact that their community existed before the Civil War, and just the fact that they were able to survive and thrive for so long despite their surroundings.
My favorite part of the program is just hearing all of these untold stories I would never be able to hear in school.
The most interesting part about this program is experiencing new things and learning how to screen artifacts.
My favorite part of the program was when we actually got to go out and do our excavation sites.
My favorite part of the program was reading the Quaker meeting logs at the Library of Virginia.
My favorite part of this program is digging part because I learned so many things that I never thought I would know.
What I take from my experience this summer is a new outlook on the past.
What I take out of this program with me is that digging and finding artifacts are fun and interesting.
That it is important to learn your history in your local community.
One thing I took away is knowing that everyone's history is important, not just the selective history told in school.
I never thought I would be doing this kind of stuff, but it's a good experience and it's a lot of interesting things.
One thing I would take from this experience is you just have to pay attention to the historical value of your environment, because you never know how important something is until you actually go out and try to find out.
What I take away from this experience is that everybody's story matters.